What is truly good and what is truly bad? And what is true evaluation? Within a lot of conversations and debates that have been had, you may have heard the conversation about what is subjectivity versus objectivity, as this conversation not only overlaps within the world of anime and manga, but in art and beauty and as well as morality. So many philosophers have argued different ideas and perspectives of reality of what it truly means to have subjectivity and objectivity within our world. And today, I will talk about what it really means within the world of anime and manga. So that's what we'll be discussing for today's video. What is the actual truth behind evaluation? Opinions, beliefs, tastes, standards, criteria, the truth and the facts, subjectivity and objectivity. Whenever you are seeing a thread or seeing a conversation being had about a certain story, and someone decides to share their own opinions and beliefs on said story, whether it be a masterpiece or good or anything of that sort, you would most likely see the comment underneath that this is objectively wrong, or in other cases that this is objectively good. As always, for our own examples, we will use person A and person B. Person A believes that Jujutsu Kaisen is objectively the best new gen shonen, while person B may believe that it has to be the story of Chainsaw Man that is the best new gen shonen. And whenever the discussion begins, it is broken down into a bunch of different categories, just to name a few, or mainly the popular ones, that being plot, characters, art, themes, and the pacing. Since both are very much considered action and adventurous written stories, and showing different variations and defining of different senses of violence and actions within their story. Person A may say for their reasoning of loving the action of Jujutsu Kaisen would be, well, there's a various style of mixed martial arts, and within the different levels that are displayed within the cursed energy. While person B may respond with, well, I think Chainsaw Man's action is way better because of the gore and violence that is completely spread throughout it, and that there is no limit that Fujimoto may go to. It is completely expressive, violent, and gory throughout its entire run. And the power within Chainsaw Man doesn't seem to be quite convoluted. Just a fun, chaotic story where I can just look at it and turn my brain off. And let's say person A responds with, well, no, action should have a little bit more responsibility, and writers should make it seem very balanced, or as fair and balanced as it possibly can be, because of the fact that if we don't have certain power levels and or scaling, well then everything could just be seen as inconsistent. So these two continue to go back and forth on so many other different topics. And for my basketball fans out here, it would be equivalent to, as you possibly have heard numerous times, about the GOAT argument. For examples, obviously, Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, Kobe Bryant versus LeBron James, Kobe Bryant versus Michael Jordan, Steph Curry versus Magic Johnson. And we take into certain accounts scoring, passing, rebounding, playmaking, defense, and of course, winning. And if someone calls somebody the GOAT in either of these players, they have to be seen as objectively the best at that position. Now, what exactly does the term objectively really mean? Well, as we look this up, as this is mainly the most popular definition and notion being used right now, the term objectively is an adverb which means in a way that is not influenced by personal feelings or opinions. But if we dig a little deeper to the roots of the word, especially how it's been used throughout philosophy, by the definition on Merriam-Webster, it is of relating to or existing as an object of thought without consideration of independent existence. So despite the examples that I've used so far within this video, how many times have you seen that into something that you like? As always, it can be quite from anything, and usually you would say that it is of what a lot of other people consider to be good. Say your own group of friends tell you that by all means, LeBron James has to be the greatest player of all time. There's just no question about it. Or it could be a vast amount of other players. Nope, it has to be Magic Johnson. He's the greatest point guard after all, right? No, it just can't be Magic Johnson. It has to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Nope, it can't be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It has to be Kobe Bryant. Nope, it really can't be Kobe Bryant. It has to be Shaquille O'Neal. No, it can't be either of those guys. It has to be Tim Duncan. Nope, can't be Tim Duncan. It must be Bill Russell. Nope, can't be Bill Russell. It must be Will Chamberlain. Nope, it can't be Will Chamberlain. It must be Dr. J. Nope, can't be Dr. J. It must be Larry Bird. Time and time and time again, again, we hear completely different iterations of what it really means to be the greatest ever. And I recommend you check out my video that I recently made about the problem with evaluating greatness. And this will always apply into the world as we know as it is, and especially within the world of entertainment. I've even said for myself, my two favorite series of all time would have to be Dragon Ball and One Piece. And even so, I've heard completely different animes and mangas that a lot of people consider the best. Whether it be Berserk, Naruto, Code Geass, Hunter x Hunter, Steins Gate, JoJo's, Neon Genesis, and so many more names to go along the way. And some may ask the question, well, Berserk, is this kind of problematic? The fact that we just have all of these different ideas and opinions, and yet it seems like we just won't gather an understanding. Because of all the plot holes and inconsistencies within their story, can't we just say that it's bad or it's objectively bad? And to that I say, well, yes, you can consider it to be a bad story. There's nothing wrong with considering something to be not good or to your liking. However, to consider it objectively bad, I would just have to be inclined to disagree. Because completely, we all see reality different from one another and have different biases at play too. Obviously, for my examples that I like to go on about, I love action-driven narratives. Seeing the antagonist and the protagonist continuously test one another, as they both continuously meet the ending point to their own respective ideals, it continuously leaves you on the edge of your seat. Now, this doesn't mean that I necessarily dislike stories that are thrillers or slice of life or crime-driven stories. For yourself, you may say that you value a lot of sci-fi, rom-coms, or just overall mech animes. And sometimes these genres can mix in and coincide with one another, but either way, it is just about your own enjoyability of the story, and the praises, flaws, and criticisms that you have to take away from them. For our last point, you may be asking, well then, why is this really even a thing? Why are so many people debating about objectivity and subjectivity? It's pretty much like the question I asked previously that someone may want to know. As we get to see and explore different communities and different ideals within them, and seeing different sets of criterias and criticisms that come along with them, some may feel like it is important to get a grasp and true understanding of what they mean. As obviously, including myself, other content creators and other people have their fair share of bad takes. But even so, no matter how bad they may seem to you or anyone else, at the end of the day, it becomes just nothing but subjective. So to answer the impending question of what really is true evaluation, it honestly depends on that of yourself. What is your opinion? What is your criteria? What is it that you like and dislike? What we should all know for a fact is there isn't a correct or true way to watch anime or anything we really love correctly, or what is the right way for us to evaluate an anime or manga. If you love the characters more than the story, or the story more than the characters, or even liking the art and backgrounds more than anything, then each of that is fine. And the same can be said for basketball. If you value two-way players more than anything else, then that's fine. Or seeing a player carrying their teams to the new significant heights that have never been reached before, then that is completely fine too. Because remember, objectivity is what is present, known, and universal of what is in our reality, while subjectivity is the thought and feelings and opinions that we have set on this reality. That pretty much wraps it up for this video. As always, if you like this kind of content and want more videos in the future, please sure to leave a like and share your feelings below whether you agree or disagree. And if you'd like to keep up with me with more videos in the future, please follow me on other social media links.